Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Talk, WA's own student talk show. My next guest was a fashion model at the 2012 Perth Fashion Festival. She is the WA facilitator for the UN Youth National Conference. In 2011, she helped launch Ignite, a volunteer organisation supporting upwards of 100 high school students from underprivileged backgrounds. In her spare time, she studies commerce at the University of Western Australia. Please welcome Sasha Quahe. Thanks for being on the show, Sasha. Please take a seat. So how have you been?
Yeah, well thanks. How about you?
Not bad. I imagine you're quite busy.
Yeah, quite busy, but it's good.
Now, you are a professional fashion model.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's quite difficult, I would imagine, particularly balancing with your studies at uni.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's just a matter of sort of prioritising what you're doing and managing your time well. It hasn't been too much of a problem.
Sure. Are you with an agency?
Yeah, that's right. I'm with Chadwick.
Oh, okay. And how did you manage to get in contact with them?
Well, it all started when I was at a shopping mall with my friend, and fashion label Blue Juice was doing a model search on the same day. And yeah, I got scouted for that and I did the show, and it was just a promotional one-off. But then I went home and I was all excited and chatted to my mum, and she said, why don't you just, pop into Chadwick and see what they have to say. And I thought, that's very unlikely that I'd get a spot. But I thought, why not? I don't have anything to lose. So I went in, I met with the manager, and she asked me to come back.
Fantastic. I can tell that's a story you've had to narrate quite a few times.
Yeah, it has.
You get asked that question a lot.
Yeah, quite a few times. I mean, it's something a bit out of the ordinary for a student to be doing. Yeah.
Definitely. Are there other students?
Yeah, definitely. I think in Perth it's quite a small industry. So it's hard to work full-time as a model. So most of the girls are part-time and they study or work in addition to that.
Sure. What are some of the highlights of your modelling so far?
Oh, well, there've been a few. I'd have to say going to Broome to do a charity fashion parade for Telethon was a highlight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, going to Broome is really beautiful, and obviously it's a really great cause as well. So that was
you're not complaining about the heat or the flies? Or...
No, not at all. No, not complaining. And
do they have like professional people who swat flies away from the models?
No, I can't say that. There are.
Is that something they should have?
No, it wasn't a problem. It was in October, and it was hot because it's Broome and it's a very tropical sort of climate.
And it's full of models, absolutely. Now, there is a stereotype associated with modelling, which you don't quite fit because you are a very smart student. I think you are on a UWA Fogarty Foundation scholarship.
That's right.
And you were very easily in the top 0.something% of students in the state graduating from school. Do you get on well with all of the other models? Or are you a bit like a nerd in high school?
Well, a lot of the girls, in fact, all of the girls I've met are pretty down to earth and they're pretty lovely. You don't get any of that sort of bitchiness that is associated with the industry, which is really nice. In Perth as well, it's quite small, so you get to see the same faces around, you get to know the girls. As to whether I'm a nerd, probably yes, I'm a bit of a self-confessed nerd. I've always loved sort of learning and school and whatnot and getting involved, but I still like to chat to other people and find out a bit about them.
Fantastic. On the topic of you being a nerd, you are a intervarsity debater.
Yes.
You travel around the country arguing with people.
Yes.
What's that like?
Yeah, it's really great. There are a couple of aspects to it. So with debating tournaments, that is, you've got the debating side, so you're doing maybe 3 debates in a day. So you have to learn really quickly and there's a lot of practice.
What kind of topics do you debate?
Oh, all sorts. So it might be politics, economics, the environment, international relations, justice issues.
So you have to be very, very well informed, in other words.
Yeah, ideally, and you
or you
always
just have to
know
pretend
more.
like you were informed and that doesn't.
Yeah, that can work as well.
And this sort of extends, this whole public speaking type thing extends to what you do with UN Youth, and I think UNWA or UNYWA. What's that all about? What do they do?
Yeah, so UN Youth is a youth for youth organisation, and we're focused on international and social issues, and we run activities for high school students.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. It's great fun.
Oh wow, and I think you're probably someone who has a lot of opinions, particularly about Australia's foreign policy. What is the biggest issue facing us as a nation in the eyes of other nations?
Well, I'd say Australia's biggest foreign policy issue is maintaining a strong relationship with the US whilst strengthening our economic but also cultural ties with Asia. You know, we saw the government white paper released just recently speaking about the Asian century, and I think that's actually something I've observed a bit as a half Singaporean Chinese model. You know, it's been reflected in the number of bookings I've been getting, that the fashion industry, which is of course a creative and cultural industry, it's sort of becoming more, you know, multicultural and embracing a bit of that Asian aesthetic, which I think's been really interesting.
Because it's interesting modelling. It's one of those industries where it is open to a bit of discrimination, and people obviously judge you all the time. And it is changing in terms of racial stereotypes, I guess, and things out there in very cloudy territory that we'll probably leave for a different show. But I just want to focus on this other initiative that you've begun with your sister, I believe, a few years ago. It's called Ignite. It's a not-for-profit that focuses on...
Oh yeah, it focuses on mentoring and tutoring high school students from lower socioeconomic areas. So we get young people, mainly university students, but also young professionals, and we put them in the classroom with some high school students from a range of different backgrounds, and we have sort of academic help, but also just sort of general like role model relationship building and just, you know, being there as another sort of resource for the students.
Really great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And how many volunteers have you managed to get on board?
In 2012, we grew to over 50.
Wow.
So yeah, we're really happy with how that's going.
That is a pretty big deal in a community that's relatively small, like we are here in Perth, particularly the university fraternity here. So it is a very significant achievement. We're just about to head into the end of the program, so I want to say, I want to see where you hope to go in the future with all of these very diverse activities you're doing. You've got your foreign policy, you've got United Nations, your academics, your modelling. What do you think is the niche you will fit into in the next 10 years?
Well, I mean, next 10 years, that's a long time. For the next couple of years, I'll be doing all of those sorts of things and just enjoying different interests. But in the longer term, I'm not sure because, you know, I know that I definitely want to work in a job that I'm really passionate about, something that's sort of meaningful. What form that will take, I can't say at the moment, but I'll just, you know, I'll see what opportunities present themselves.
I'm sure you'll be brilliant wherever you go.
Thank you.
Sasha, it's been fantastic talking to you, and we are out of time, unfortunately. We have time for one more question, and I think you know what it is, the epic question, where you get a chance to deliver a message to the people of Western Australia and the world. And the question I have for you is, if you were given one of those planes that writes things in the sky, and you were allowed to write one sentence above Perth, what would you have written in the sky on your behalf?
I'd probably have to just go with Carpe Diem. It's a little bit cliched, but, you know, hopefully it sort of reminds people to look up into the sky and think that they should live for the day.
Fantastic. You'd look great in the sky as you do on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, Sasha Quahe! Tonight's program was made possible by the support of Teach, Learn, Go Inc. and Edith Cowan University. Thanks for watching The Talk on WASTV. See you next time.